Hello to my Aquas. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Aquarius, this video is for the 24th through the 31st of May. That's right. That's going to take us all the way out to the end of the month. We're going to just dive right in. I prayed over your cards already. I've already cleared the space. The energy that I was getting as I was praying over your cards and clearing the space and asking Source for just some downloads for you all before even turning the camera on, was that there are some people who are really wondering, how in the world do you know things ahead of time? Like, how do you all know things? How are you getting information? How are you transmuting information? Like, at all the darts that's being sent your way, Aquarius, how in the world are you not only in your alchemist energy, turning all that negative energy that's coming towards you into positive, right? And continue doing that. Again, continue drinking your water, continue going out and getting some fresh air, continue pouring into yourselves. It seems like there's been so many attacks during these rebirths. We had a full flower moon. We had a full flower moon in Scorpio this cycle. Pluto is still retrograde for those of you all who follow retrograde. And Pluto all into itself is an emotional roller coaster. And so the moon is in Aries right now. So even though all of these readings are timeless, the moon being in Aries can give you an extra, since Aries rules first house. First house is all about temperament, appearance, self-image, first impression, self-awareness, outlook on life. People took one look at you and assumed something about you. They had a first impression of you, right? And and they went with that. They went with whatever first impression they had of you, right? And so people are starting to wonder, like, okay, wait a minute. They had a first impression of you. And I feel like because Aries is ruled by Mars, even if they pulled your birth chart, even if they were with a group of people, prayer warriors usually go through the fire, right? You could be intercessory prayer warrior, or whatever kind of prayer warrior you are. I feel like I'm talking to some prayer warriors because people are wondering, how in the world do you know things ahead of time? Like, how are you so covered? How are you so protected, right? And I feel like it is a lot of it is your humility. That's what I feel like. That's the energy I'm getting from you all. So let's start out, getting the tone of your reading first. Don't forget to set intentions every single day, Aquarius. I'm talking to you whoever Aquarius is in your birth chart. Aquarius rules 11th house. Just FYI for those of you all who are learning. 11th house is all about friendships, community, goals. It's about hopes. It's about awareness, humanitarianism, technology. It's all about future, all about the future, right? All right. All about your future, right? So I start each day with a positive attitude. That's right. Starting each day with a positive attitude is key. Starting each day with a positive attitude is key. That's right. Wake up, set an intention, start each day with a positive attitude. Even if you're having downloads, dreams, if people are astral projecting, if people are remote viewing, it doesn't even really matter. Wake up and start each day, I'm telling you all, with a positive attitude. It will change your life. It will change your life, no matter how your body is feeling. I mean, whatever your daily routine ritual is, get up and pray. I don't know, can't tell you all what to do, but whatever it is you need to do to get up and get your day started going. For some people, it's prayer. For some people, it's, like I said, you start out a day with setting your intentions. And yeah, so it's a waning crescent moon. And so it supports releasing things, reflecting, preparing for a new beginning. Um, that Aries energy is fiery energy, is pioneering spirit. Um, you know, releasing any energies around you that are ego driven, people who are in this impulsive energy, this fighting energy. And so you preparing for this bold, fresh start, right? Preparing for a bold, fresh start. So you definitely don't want to be around any ego-driven energies. So here we have the spy is now turned on. So whoever's been spying on you is turned on by your energy. Prepare for an increase in pay. Prepare for an increase in pay. You have the gift of clear cognizance. This is psychic knowledge about other people. And this is what I was talking about. People are wondering, how in the world, how does Aquarius know? I'm telling you, when you start each day with a high vibration, you'd be surprised. Look at it this way. I got to say it in the physical sense. Have you all ever, and drop a comment below, have you all ever been standing on a stage or at a higher elevation and you look down and you get like almost like I want to say aerial view, almost an aerial view of something where you kind of get a chance to see like a broader perspective of things where that you would not have seen if you were at a lower frequency, right? So as an air sign, always look at it like that in a sense. You're seeing something from a higher, you're looking at something from a higher frequency. You're looking at it from a frequency of love, right? Agape love. You're looking at it like you would rather pray for than pray on something, right? It's not a spirit of fear, it's a spirit of faith and source, right? So your ancestors have a message for you, and it's saying you are an answered prayer. You meet something with love. You meet something with love, right? You are an answered prayer. Because some people are in this go with the flow, like they meet negative energy with negative energy. You know, like you see people on social media, sometimes they like, okay, well, they'll go with whatever flow other people are going with, right? And you'll see it sometimes on social media. Some people are like they're just following whoever's leading, whatever type of energy is being led. They just following that energy, right? Good, bad, or whatever. And they're assuming that because you're meeting it with love, that's fear, right? But it's not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, and Aries is ruled by Mars, which is the fighting planet. It's a masculine planet. It's the energy planet, right? Yeah. So Mars is that temperament planet, that anger planet, that sexuality planet. So yeah, somebody has a demon of envy, right? So somebody sees you as their property, and so they're rounding up the troops, and people are trying to figure out how the heck does Aquarius know things ahead of time? How? I mean, what? Who is telling them? So the angel of prophecy and wisdom, right? And who is the wisdom source, right? Who is wisdom source, right? So you're going to, what is the book of wisdom, right? Right. So yeah, let's see. hmm Yeah, the angel of light. So yeah. So we're gonna get some more. We're gonna get some more information. So you know very well about this right here. I had a book of the apocryphal text on my table. In the past, y'all see a lot of information here, but I had the apocryphal text here, which are other books. But uh, to let you know about this particular angel here, uh, but you all can look up. You can look it up, right? This angel is associated with arts and science, right? Right. So prophecy and wisdom. There's something about truth and clarity and, seeking some kind of truth and wisdom and clarity um, around something. But when you have a lot of fire shut up in your bones, it can come across as just impulsive, like this anger, this rage, set up and shut up in someone's bones. But your well of joy is within you, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like you're preparing for some kind of a pay increase, right? So, and somebody is treating something like it's property, right? Something like it's somebody's property, and people are wondering how the heck do you know certain things? Like how do you? So move in silence and move in peace. Again, you're operating in a spirit of love. I see you being booked and busy, not bitter and burdened by anything, right? Create the change that you want, right? And water is creativity. So when you think about fire and fire shut up in your bones, what would you do, right? Or you have anxiety or anything, right? Water will calm that down. Water will calm that down. That's your moon sign, right? That's your moon sign. So you're an air sign, but you are a water bearer, but that's your moon sign. You have the gift of precognition, right? So be aware of all the signs around you. If you're driving down the street and you see something that kind of stands out at you, pay attention to those things. Doesn't have to, it's not always a person. Sometimes it's a thing. Sometimes it's sometimes it's just a thing, something that'll just stand out at you. Sometimes it's a license plate. Sometimes it doesn't have to be anybody in particular's license plate, but it can be a number that kind of sort of pops out. But you want to be aware. The main thing is that you want to keep yourselves nurtured. So find out what your moon sign is, because that's exactly what energies, those types of energies like to attack. And what I mean by that, so let's say, for instance, your moon sign is an earth sign, right? So your moon would be what nurtures your spirit, right? And that would be, so the moon uncovers secrets, right? So when people want to know what your secrets are, they want to go to whatever your moon is, right? So what would be something like, if somebody wanted to, if you're starting each day with a positive attitude and someone wanted to make that day negative for you, right? Remember the moon comes out at night, right? And so you want something positive, right? The light, sunlight would be positive, right? The other side to that would be darkness, right? That would be the sun, dark. But remember, you're a star, so you shine bright in dark spaces, right? So find out what your moon sign is. And so if your moon sign is an earth sign, something will try to bring out the darkness in you by attacking something of physical value, like your kids, your parents, your your money, your property. Y'all get the point. Something of physical value, right? If your moon sign is water, right? Somebody would probably try to attack your creativity, your emotional range, like your mental health, your sexuality, your joy, your fertility, your what pleases you, right? If it is fire, somebody would probably try to attack what is um, your power, your confidence, your will, your motivation, your mental clarity, what would make you levitate, right? Something that would make you angry, enraged, that kind of thing. Your fire, right? Something that would put your fire out, right? Because those are in the physical realm, right? So pay attention to those things, those lower things. But again, as an air sign and as a star, I'm talking to you wherever, even I'm talking to my cross watchers, talking to my cross watchers here. I know what your 11th house is. Your sign is in the 11th house. Trying to help somebody here, trying to help you. Trying to help you. I know people ask me, why do I repeat? I'm trying to help you. I really am trying to help. Want you to know that's important for you to get it, right? So, what ego-based source, what ego-based behavior is it time for Aquarius to release? What ego? Is there anything that Aquarius is there anything, source, that Aquarius is edging God out of? Anything? Because I feel like the reason why the spy, whoever is spying on you, is turned on is because you are praying ahead of time. You're starting each day with a positive. Okay. All right. Okay. So someone feels like, all right, all right. So there's some energies who've done some things behind your back. There's some energies who've done something behind your back that you've had their back, or they feel like they've had your back. This is where the confusion comes in, right? Here's a Tower card. And instead of, let's say, it looks like there's two energies who feels like they've had your back and you feel like you've had their back, but instead of people talking, it looks like some kind of like just tower. People just went right into impulsive behavior and just want a tower to fall on you. Yeah, instead of people just talking to you, people went right. It's like somebody, two energies just went straight to court, just made some kind of impulsive move and went straight to court. That's why you're preparing for some kind of increase in pay. Wow. And what's interesting about the Tower card here, what's interesting about the Tower card here is that something has just been causing you a complete nightmare. Something has been causing you a complete nightmare. Something has been brought to light. Something has been brought to light. Looking at your cards here. But the nightmare is over. Hmm. Hmm. I feel like there's some energies who are sort of clinging to sort of old belief systems about some things. Looking at your cards here, these are loved ones. These are family members, by the way. Because this is Libra. We're not talking about any Libras here, but you know, just so we're crystal clear. Libra rules seventh house. Okay, so seventh house is here. Seventh house is all about marriage, relationships, partnerships. Um, Business contracts, inner desires, enemies, those kind of things, right? So usually with the Tower, it's a total recall of some things, but something is closed out. Something is closed out, and people are asking why, because it's the dark side of seven. Light side of seven is something is closed out. Seven is something is complete, some kind of completion here. Some kind of nightmare is over. Some kind of a nightmare is over. Somebody made some kind of impulsive decision, right? Behind your back. Two energies made an impulsive decision behind your back. So something is over. And so you're starting each day with a positive attitude. Uh, Mm-hmm. Hmm. And now some energies is okay. Okay, let me see if I can how I can word this. Okay. People are wondering how you know things, like how you are protected, how you who is protecting you, who is telling you things. Uh do you have some kind of inside like do you have a spy? Like do you have a spy? Like, you know what I'm saying, Aquarius? Like, people are wondering, like, who does Aquarius know? Does Aquarius have a spy on the inside somewhere? Because you have been going from nightmare to night. Before you get to Nine of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? Ace of Swords would be 1. That'd be why. Like, that would be motive. There would be motive. But somebody took some kind of an impulsive action here to cause you a complete nightmare. It went right on back to praying and meditating like nothing ever even happened. I feel like looking at your cards here because something is in reverse. The action, it was impulsive, it was obsessive, right? To loop you into something, possibly without you even knowing because you were the one that was going through a nightmare. So basically someone was saying basically you caused them a nightmare, but this is a gateway. Heart chakra is gateway between the spiritual and the in the physical world. This is in the physical world, right? This is solar plexus chakra in the physical world. So somebody said we're gonna go from 7 back to 4. In other words, somebody says, okay, we're gonna act like we're just gonna celebrate it like it's a homecoming. Like nothing, like we're gonna go. It's like we're gonna go back. We don't care if it causes you a nightmare. We're gonna make an executive decision, and we're gonna celebrate like it's a homecoming. Like I don't know what your age is. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you're over 18 years old. But some people made a decision for you behind your back in court, and I'm sure if you didn't know about it and you were having nightmares about it, this lets me know here that some people, your loved ones, actually sided with people that they knew were your who had proven to be your enemies to sacrifice you. They had proven to be your enemies to sacrifice you, to end you. That speaks to the 12th house. 12th house is about spirituality, it's about addictions, it's about psychic abilities, healing, solitude, endings, world service, secrets, emotions. So basically, somebody went into a courthouse and people went to a courthouse, sacrificed you to end you, said something about your emotional state. So maybe somebody's moon sign is Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, right? Somebody could have said something about your emotional state, right, to cause you a nightmare, took some kind of inspired action and went right on back to like nothing ever happened. Closed something out like nothing ever even happened behind your back impulsively. So yeah, prepare for an increase in pay. Yeah, 2 people. So some kind of a partnership in business and or in love is coming across your path. Yeah, some kind of a partnership in business and or in love is coming across your path. Yeah, so continue, like I said, in your alchemy and keeping things positive and high vibrational. Keep transmuting that energy from anything low vibrational whatsoever Give me some more information, source. Give me some more information about this, source. Give me some more information about this. Because some energies just refuse to change. They just refuse. It's almost like there's a fear of changing. And so energies just decide because they're so obsessed with control. The energies were just whoever these energies were, somebody's ex possibly, was so obsessed with controlling a narrative and controlling you and treating you like you're their property. I saw, you know what I saw on the other, what did I saw this on Instagram, Aquarius. This guy, he wanted a divorce from his wife, and this is on Instagram, and I didn't save the story. He wanted a divorce from his wife. He went into court. You all may be able to find it on Instagram. He went into court. He forced her signature as he signed his signature as her, saying that he wanted a divorce, got the divorce, right, as her, right? Of course, he got in trouble for it. Because she didn't know anything about it. She had no clue. Yeah, so he sure did. He wanted a divorce, and he signed as if he was her, right, in court. So his face is all over the place, on social media. But yeah, so anyway, so somebody was so obsessed with controlling you that they would go into court with people who they know were your enemies. Just and make an impulsive move like you just don't even matter, just phasing you out like you just don't even matter. So some kind of a partnership in business and or in love is coming across your path. Um, so a decision has already been made. They were already clapping and cheering because a decision had been made without your knowledge behind your back. They were already clapping and cheering, so yeah, somebody has said something about you were depressed, your back was against the wall. I mean, just some big bold lie about somebody. I don't know what people's mental health state is, but somebody's moon sign may be a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. And could you imagine? I don't know if people have kids or if your parent, I don't know what people's family situation is, but could you imagine somebody's family or loved ones siding with knowing that people are your enemies and siding with them? So this is apathy. This is apathy. So this would be like somebody saying, okay, all your cups spilled out, like poured over. This is like totally taking advantage of somebody. So again, you're moving in silence and moving in peace, and your well of joy is within you. So I'm sending out lots of love and light to whoever this is for. If it's your situation, Aquarius, I'm sending out, like I said, learn how to transmute your energy and protect yourselves, please, 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 please. Because this right here, this is duality. This blood right here, let's be these are blood relatives playing chess with people's lives. What in the world? Somebody saying it's their way or the highway. Yeah, somebody saying it's their way or the highway. And imagine if they're in a relationship with somebody, and there's if they're in a relationship with somebody, um, and if they're in a relationship with somebody and somebody is watching this, and they watching you, how they would do you, how they would do them as well. So they're getting a glimpse into their own future. If you could imagine that, like, could you imagine being in a relationship with somebody who gets a glimpse into the relationship with their next child? Listen, any other information source, any other information? So yeah, anytime you were in a relationship with somebody, this goes beyond. I like to try to keep the vibration of readings as high vibrational as possible when I look at your cards here. But something is, like I said, 7 and 4 is 11. It's like literally going through an initiation process. So dark and light, like going through two pillars. It's literally like somebody closed out something and celebrated afterwards. It's like somebody walked into a courtroom. Somebody walked through two doors. I mean, walked through a door, left and right side, walked into something, decided they wanted to say that you were a nightmare, right? They decided without you that you were a nightmare, right? With people that they know were your enemies. These are loved ones. They decided without you, you were a nightmare, right? And even if you were depressed, nobody even discussed it with you, right? I mean, so yeah, they were moving in silence and they were at peace with whatever their decision was, right? And trust, they may have had some foreknowledge about some stuff. Who knows? Who knows? If this is how people are moving, I don't know what I can't tell anybody what to do. Looking at your cards here, I ain't giving nobody any advice at all. I'm just reading the cards. I am not giving you any advice. But these people are been playing somebody like a pawn. Looks like you're part of a chess game and saying that they love somebody. So something has been a nightmare for a long time for somebody. Something has been a nightmare for a long time because you don't get to nine of swords when you just first wake up. You got to go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Something has been a nightmare. So the nightmare has to end because after that is 10, 10 of swords. 10 of swords is somebody meeting some unfortunate end behind closed doors. That's a complete ending behind closed doors, right? But see, here's the thing. What I'm picking up from you all behind closed doors is thriving. Remember, I'm talking about duality, just like this board here. Because nobody even talked to you. Somebody was playing games with your life. Instead of connecting with you, right? Connecting, heart chakra, saying that they love you, connecting, picking up a phone with somebody, calling you, saying, hey, we're just checking, we love you, we haven't talked to you. But see, what I'm picking up, the reason why these are in reverse is because it lets me know that nobody, and the reason why this is right here, they sacrifice somebody. So they sacrifice you. The tower is connects us with the judgment card, which connects us with the death card, which connects us with the number 8, right? Eighth house, right? So that's two. That's two windows, right? You and someone else. So that means if you weren't contacted, who was the other person that was contacted in your place? That's why you got to make the connection. If you weren't contacted, who were the two people that was contacted? Somebody had a copycat because water is reflective. Somebody had a copycat. And what else were they copying? Somebody else's records, mental health records. What else were they copying to close something out? Somebody else, who was somebody's moon sign, a fire sign, to close something out. And remember, fire. How was somebody able to make some kind of a connection to say that you were having some kind of nightmares? To say that your back was against the wall with fire? Because remember, fire, connects us with the dark side of fire, will connect you with bullying, rage, ulcers, digestive organs, hurrying, um, uh, feeling timid, chronic fatigue, constant confusion, indecision, low self esteem, collapsed chest posture, all of that. For these people to do all of this, what copycat did they use? And then come right back outside and start clapping and cheering like nothing ever happened. What in the world? This is all this is that was going on. So yeah. So this is an inspired action on your behalf to take some kind of action, some kind of permanent action, some kind of a permanent action. Find out all the players that did this and take some kind of inspired action, legal action at this point. So again, you can now use your energy because the Tower card is energy. It's a total recall. Like I said, you put an end to it. So now you can use your energy to be booked and busy and not bitter and burdened by it. Like I said, you have psychic knowledge about other people. These are people that you know. You know, somebody knows how impulsive certain energies are. You've been around some of these energies your whole life. That's how you got to 9 of Swords to begin with. You had 8 swords already in your back. You know how people talk about people behind your back, behind their backs. You know how impulsive some people are. They stand there and pray and meditate, acting like they're cool, calm, and collected, and go right into partying somewhere, worshiping and partying, and have people sitting around depressed. So no, mm-mm. Somebody else, whoever the copycat is, just didn't know. They were looking for acceptance and approval from somebody. Yeah. So, but you're not giving these energies any more time. You're not giving it any more time and attention. It's a wrap. It is a wrap. And speaking of duality here, it looks like you have 2 Aries, a man and a woman. One played light, one played dark, and I'm not talking about complexion. Just so we're crystal clear, I'm not talking about complexion. I'm talking about one played good, one played bad. Like one played almost like so concerned and so helpless, and oh my God, so I really don't know what to do, and we're so concerned, and we just don't know. But they were both playing chess with your life, but both of them secret enemies. So you have these are family members. These are family members. Yeah. So you know who's behind it. Now you know exactly who. If you and somebody that you love was baited into something, these two were behind it. If you were baited into some kind of anything that caused you and a loved one a nightmare where a destiny swap happened, these two were behind it. Make no mistake about it. They were behind it. So sit yourself on your throne, put away your emotions under lock and key, and use your logical brain. Yep. Use your logical brain. They sure enough were behind it. So the Queen of Swords, something about a red dress. Something about a red dress in 6th house. 6th house is about health, work habits, daily routines, fitness, pets, service to others, diet, spiritual practices. Speaks to Virgo, the Virgo in all of us, right? But so there could have been a Virgo that told you, but something about a red dress. Maybe somebody wears a red dress. Somebody in a red dress may have told you a long time ago how one of these energies, could have been a man or a woman, I don't know who you are, Aquarius, really envies you, right? And something is really coming back to, excuse me, something is really coming back to light now. Something is coming back to light for you now. Something is really, really starting to just make sense to you now as to how many swords have been in your back, right? Have been in your back, right? And so this energy right here, Queen of Swords right here, red speaks to root chakra. So this would have been somebody who has been in your life since the very beginning, somebody who really knows how envious this person. If you're a man, this woman would have known, like, the man who was envious of you. If you're a woman, they would have known, like, if this is somebody's mother, they would have known that somebody's mother was envious of them from the very beginning. So this would have been like somebody's aunt, or whether it was your mom's sister or your father's sister, right? If you're a man, it could be like your um, father's brother, or your uh, if it could have been your if you're it could be your brother, right? But whoever this person it well, I mean, we're addressed obviously, but whatever. My point to you is that this person knows a lot, right? And so they could be one that could fan the flames, right? They could be one that could be like fanning the flames of something, right? They know something. They know something, right? They could be sitting in a position where, of sort of independence, unbiased judgment, mental clarity, an effective leader who has wisdom of both, their head and their heart, of just knowing something, where they're just kind of like, well, I mean, this would be like like sometimes your aunts and uncles may know certain things. They may have said something to you when you were younger, you know, that could have really, made you sad, just could have just made you sad and just let you know early on, your well of joy is within you. And something could have resurfaced at this, wherever your age, whatever your stage is in life, is basically like, don't pay these two any mind. Don't pay these two any mind. Whoever these two are, don't pay them any mind. Right? Don't pay them any mind. Right? So, all right. So let's get ready to close these out. So yeah, you would be cutting some energies off for good. You'll be closing out a cycle and cutting some energies off for good. These energies are definitely behind baiting you and someone into something. So something is closed out. And then turn around and talking about it. Yeah, here's a goddess energy card. Yeah. To grow their abundance and their prosperity. There's something about somebody in a red dress. Yep. To cause you a tower moment. So, yeah. Yeah. So that they could coexist amongst other people, amongst other religions and belief systems and this kind of thing. Where you see all of these different, so that they could coexist. Right? But you also see all of this red here, right? But before you even get to the heart chakra to develop that, again, you got the physical body. So this has been going on for a long time. So no matter what the differences are, you've been going through a nightmare for a long time. So no matter what's going on right now, you still had to start out as a kid. Like somebody still had to start out as a kid. Like what could you have possibly done as a kid for some kind of an obsession to occur? What could you have possibly done besides be born? That's where's the card? That's what this is. What could you have possibly be done? What you could have possibly done? Right? Even if you do have a messy aunt or uncle that, says something, and sometimes they be, aunts and uncles be fanning the flames. They just be saying stuff. But I mean, if they did say something, everybody else was sitting around not saying anything. Yeah, so here we have the Five of Pentacles here. So yeah, so people just wanted you out in the cold. They literally just wanted to leave you out in the cold with something. We want to leave you out in the cold with something, make you look like a complete fool. Somebody didn't want to tell you something. They did not want to tell you something that's been going on, for a long time as far as the church is concerned. So let me see if there's anything else going on here. Something else has been going on here. Because I feel like some major dots are being connected here. Some major dots are being connected here. This is the reason for all the nightmares, and you just now waking up to some nightmares. Anything else? Anything else, source? Anything else? Yeah. But somebody in this red dress, they got a lot of information. Whoever this Virgo is in this red dress, they got a lot of information. They got a lot of information. This is somebody's loved one. This is an older woman. They got some stuff. And somebody singing with them fans at right. With it, that's what they singing. With them fans at. So anyway, you starting each day with a positive day. I mean, starting each day with a positive attitude, excuse me. And I'm not trying to make light of something because I don't know what everybody's situation is, but families can be a trip sometimes, but something having to do with, people trying to hide something. But so start each day with a positive day, but yeah. What other information source? Let me try to kind of speed something up here because I'm not trying to speed up your reading, like trying to speed up anything, but somebody is trying to come across as like pure as a driven snow here, but something is behind it. Like this energy right here is behind it. And something is not pure as a driven snow. Something is going on. What is this going on behind this? So somebody has a whole church behind them, but and you see the shades right here. Person like, I know some information. You know how elders in the family be like, they can say a whole conversation just using mm-hmm, mm. Pointing their lips, eyes be looking left to right like the cat on the clock. Cat's eyes on the clock, looking left to right. Got the sunglasses on. Be pointing with their lips. Like, I know something y'all don't know. Just sing it in unison. I know something y'all don't know. So when I look at the cards here, in all seriousness, though, in all seriousness, I feel like the obsession really is with appearance. The obsession is with appearance. So if you had questions about anything and people are doing things behind your back and you want to know something, you want to know the truth about something. Here we have the Three of Swords here. About some kind of heartbreak or loss or divorce or surgery or depression or grief or, suffering or, anything like that. You may have to talk to this Queen of Swords. I mean, that may be the person you need to just talk to. If you have any loved ones in your family that, you know, I would say high vibrating Virgos are meticulous. They're very meticulous. And they may have whoever this loved one is, they may have some information for you that could help bridge a gap, for you. I mean, if they may have some answers for you that could help you if you've been, struggling with something. And this is not in an effort to hurt anybody. You always want to not only start each day with a positive day, but you always want to also operate in a spirit of love, like really agape love. It's not to try to hurt anybody, but somebody wants to move beyond a bunch of chaos, confusion, drama, pain, all of that other stuff. If you want answers to something, sometimes you gotta go to Other people in the family. If you're not getting answers from this one here, you got to go to other people, because somebody got answers to whatever it is you're looking for. This is what this is right here. That's what the fire is. And somebody, like, that's what somebody got a fan in their hand. They like, okay, somebody knows something about some heartbreak, some loss, some divorce, some surgery, some depression, some grief, some suffering. Somebody knows some answers to something. Who's behind something? So here we have the Ten of Cups here. So I feel like the Ten of Cups here, 10 is the end of something, like the end of something. It's the end of something, right? End of somebody maybe feeling like their back is against the wall. Like I don't even know that somebody even I don't well, I can't say because I'm reading the cards. I don't even know that you are depressed. Really, I feel like looking at your cards here, I feel like somebody looking at the cards, I feel like somebody could have questions, because I'm looking at one tower is in reverse and one tower is upright. So if you are the one that's depressed, I'm sending love, sending, you know, sending good energy out into the universe. I really feel like somebody put the cart before the horse, for lack of a better phrase, because I'm just looking at this right here. I'm just looking at this card right here. I feel like somebody put the cart before the horse. That's what I'm seeing. And whoever this person in this red dress is, I feel like they may have some answers to something. Because if you're in good spirits and you were able to create something, if you were able to create something like to really tap into, because remember, Tower card is total recall, right? So that means you must have tapped into prayer warrior mode, right? And so you could be in inner happiness mode for you. You could be in inner happiness mode. You could have tapped into your well of joy within you. And you could be the person that's starting each day with a positive attitude about something. You could have moved beyond heartbreak, divorce, loss, whatever, but you still could have been baited into. There's a lot of ways that people are baited into things, right? So let's say you move beyond, let's say you went through a surgery. Surgery in itself could cause a person, like your healing time, right? If it's in some kind of open, you could have had gum surgery. You could have had a tooth removed, a wisdom tooth or something removed or whatever. You're sitting around with a big piece of gauze in your mouth, can't talk, whatever. Or some kind of heartbreak or some kind of a divorce or whatever you went through. Who knows? I mean, I'm not trying to trigger anybody. Some people actually have divorce parties. That's not even, who's to say who was suffering something? Who knows what somebody was going through? But the bottom line is, it wasn't for people to make a decision for you without talking to you. Without talking to you. Some people baited. This is what Five of Wands is. These two energies were behind baiting you into something. They were behind baiting you into something and then celebrating afterwards without your knowledge. Lying to whoever this group of energies were and then celebrating. And then appearing like this pure as snow, but just cold as ice. Cold as ice. And that's why the tower came out. That's why the tower came out upright, because it was sent back. Because the spell work was sent back. Now somebody can actually move on from this Three of Swords here, because the tower was intended to fall on you, right? So here we have the Six of Swords here. So now you can move on and not talk up to these energies about it anymore. So whoever this Virgo is, they may have fanned the flames before about something. You could have been dealing with a low vibrating Virgo. Like, they could have been fanning the flames the whole time, for real. Like, they could have fanned the flame when you was younger. They could have said somebody envied you when you was younger. They could have fanned the flames to these energies when they were older. They could be fanning the flames now that you older and like, oh, well, I didn't know. such and such, such and such. Whoever is in this red dress, somebody was fanning the flames. A whole lot of fans. Where them fans at? Been just fanning, fanning, fanning. But something has come to an end. Something has come to an end. So the tower fell back. People playing too many games. People playing games with your life. We have 7 of Pentacles. So yeah. So I now see your money growing again. Now see your money growing again. But you're creating the change that you want, but you're closing some things out. Starting each day with a positive day. So you're making a decision. You are making a final decision. This is a final decision. So that fan came out for a reason. That fan came out for a reason because the Queen of Swords in this particular deck is basically like somebody who was like somebody who had mental clarity. They knew what they were doing. You know, they knew what they were doing. You know, but they were kind of cold-hearted, negative energy. You know, eventually returned. You know, and so this is their karma. This is their karma. They knew what they were doing. So it's like a person who knew what they were doing when they told you and caused you to feel depressed, maybe when you were younger, between the ages of 8. Remember, sacral chakra is between the ages of 8 years old and 14, right? They may have known what they were doing if you have kids, what they were doing when they told your kids, right? Around this reunion, right? A group of people, right? Again, fanning the flames, right? So continuing to fan the flames, right? Again, somebody appearing, you know, as snow, just innocent as snow. Or when people want to be accepted into something, you know, paying people attention. So if I pay you attention, I'm going to pay you some attention, but it's going to be negative attention. Whoever this energy is, I don't know who this energy is in people's family, but again, they don't have to necessarily be a Virgo, but it's just, like I said, it's an older person in people's family, but it definitely deals with 6th house, something around people's health, their work habits, daily routines, fitness, pets, service to others, diet, spiritual practices, you know, people judging people based on those things because they've been judged, and it's a mirror of that. So if they feel like they've been judged on that, they feel like they are the judge. They feel like they're the mayor of that, like they're a female mayor, like they can sit in judgment of other people. See how the person sitting up high? Remember I was saying in the beginning, like you sit up at a high space. Some people sitting up at a high space, if like they feel like if they're the older one in the family, it's all. I heard this pastor say, and I'm gonna go ahead and close out the reading after this. I heard this pastor say um, on Instagram, he was just talking about how like sometimes elders in the families can like pass down curses in families instead of pass down, you know, like break generational cycles, chains, and curses, you know, in families. And so it could be somebody who knows a whole lot of information. They could be holding on to a lot of, like physically holding on to a lot of information that could help people, but instead they fan in the flames, right? Fanning the flames instead of helping people, where they could be held in high regard, but instead they're fanning the flames. So people were celebrating after they made an executive decision on your behalf. Something that was done was illegal, all to fit amongst a group of energies, other groups of energies. And so the tower went back. The tower goes back, right? So, like I said, I see you sitting in a lotus position, sitting in a lotus position, um, being focused, staying focused. And I do see, like I said, you're growing wherever you're planted. Wherever God planted you, I see that's where you're growing. Very patient, hardworking person. May have had some delayed success because of people appearing like they, you know, pure as the driven snow because they feel like they had a whole church or religious organization behind them. But of course, you got somebody else behind them that is not, they're not, you know, pure as the driven snow. They got somebody behind them, you know, who is envious of you And so you're an answered prayer for a whole lot of people. Believe it or not, you're an answered prayer for a whole lot of people when people are just trying to move on with them with their lives and trying to remain positive and high vibrational. Yeah, so receiving it all. You deserve to receive abundance at full capacity. Believe in your worth and trust that the universe is ready to deliver all that you desire. Open up. Open up. Yeah. The spirit of love. So don't search for true love, for it will find you. Just hold on to who you are. The world already loves your essence, so don't change it for anyone. Yeah. Well, you know that you have loved ones, that you know that they have answers to questions that you've been seeking. Um, those are the ones that you want to connect with. Those are the loved ones that you want to connect with. The ones that you're going to answer the questions for you that you have. You got. I saw Beyonce's mom has this amazing book, and I'm not trying to shamelessly plug her book, but it is really an amazing book. Um, and I actually gifted it to my son. But it has an amazing book with the family tree that she added. Kelly Rowland to the family tree. And it's always nice to know, know everything. Like when you're trying to put that together, like it goes back, like I want to say back to the 17 or 1800s, like kind of goes all the way back to the 17 or 1800s. And I'm quite sure she added Kelly's name. Kelly knows her parents, but she didn't add it as a form of disrespect or disregard to anybody. You know, there's no shame or I don't. I think when people put together um, you know put together like family trees, it could be a time where people could like really kind of it could be a beautiful time for a lot of people. It could be a beautiful time for a lot of people. So, but you're an answer prayer. You're an answer prayer. But I do feel like a lot of people have. I feel like a lot of people have elders and families that do have physical, pictures and all kinds of things in families that could just very rich that could help people with legacy. This is legacy wealth. This is legacy wealth. I was talking to a client one time, and we were talking about legacy wealth, and she was talking about how like she's been in New York. Her family is like generations of New Yorkers, and she has pictures from just all of the boroughs, and she was just wondering like what her legacy would be. I was like, "Are you kidding me? You have pictures like that's art. Like what? That's your legacy, like art, So we were talking about that, but a lot of time people don't. So yeah, sometimes people think legacy has to be a house, it has to be, a big bank account or whatever. People don't even realize, just sitting around and talking and sharing stories and recipes and those kind of things and helping people, you use the time you've been here, to help. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, here we had the queen. The resources. Somebody has a lot of resources to actually help people. A lot of resources to help people. So I feel like whoever this loved one is for you all, whether they are Virgo or whatever it is, sixth houses or whatever your sixth house is, I feel like they may have imparted a lot of, for you, you have chosen the light side of something as far as they're concerned. So that's what you're taking with you. I feel like you've chosen a light side of whatever you're taking from people. You've chosen a light side. That's what you've taken as far as legacy is concerned. So that's how you can start each day with a positive day, because you've chosen to take the light side of whatever you have. You've chosen to take in the light side. So that's the decision you're making. So again, keep your vibrations high. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this has been extremely helpful for you. But you have the gift of um, like I said, precognition. However source gets the information to you, that's how source gets the information to you. But You were able to send something back. You were able to send something back. Whatever was done in the darkness. See this sunlight right here? Whatever was done in the darkness, it was brought to the light so that you can move on. You can finally move on. Something was brought to the light so you can finally move on. So you can stay focused. So you can continue staying focused, right? All right. Hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this is helpful to somebody. Alrighty. Alrighty. I think that is it. I was trying to see if there's anything else. Um, yeah. Yep. I think that is I think that's it. Bye.